Today we're doing a suspension job on a 2001 Buick Lesabre. And we'll install shocks in the rear, but in the front we're going to install these Duralast loaded strut assemblies for a faster, easier install and better ride control. Now you can do this job at home with hand tools. You'll need these tools for the job. A big tool like the torque wrench you can borrow from AutoZone through the Loan Tool program. You'll also need a good hydraulic jack, some jack stands, and wheel chocks. Make sure the car is in park with a parking brake on before starting. At the wheel, loosen the lug nuts and then raise the car with the hydraulic jack and set the car on a jack stand. Be sure to use secure jack points. Remove the lug nuts and the wheel. First we'll need to disconnect this anti-lock brake sensor. Disconnect the wheel speed sensor. Use a 10mm to remove the wheel speed sensor bolt. Use a 10mm to remove the brake hose bolt. Use a 24mm to remove the lower spindle nuts. Now we'll need to remove 2 bolts from the lower strut mount. You may need some help from the mallet here. Disconnect the strut from the spindle. Remove the plastic clip covering the 3rd top strut mount bolt. Remove the 3 top strut mount bolts using a 15mm and make sure to hold the strut assembly when you remove the last one. Remove the strut assembly. Install the new Duralast loaded strut assembly. Tighten the 3 strut mount bolts in reverse order. Install the plastic clip. Install the 2 lower strut bolts and nuts. Install the brake hose bolt. Install the wheel speed sensor bolt. Reconnect the wheel speed sensor. Install the wheel, tighten the lug nuts, and torque the lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds. Then lower the vehicle. Repeat on the other side and you're ready to move to the rear. Before starting on the rear, make sure to disconnect the ride level sensor in the rear. Now you're ready to remove the wheel using the same safety procedures as the front. Use a jack to support the lower control arm. Remove the 2 lower shock mount bolts using a 10mm. Rotate the airline clip 45 degrees to remove the airline from the shock. In the trunk, remove the plastic nut and interior carpet cover. Remove the upper shock mount rubber cover. Now remove the 2 upper shock mount nuts using a deep 13mm socket. Compress the shock to remove it from the vehicle. Remove the upper shock mount assembly while the shock is off the vehicle. Install the upper shock mount on a new shock. You don't want to torque this yet. You need to leave it a little loose so the airline can be lined up. Remove the air cap and expand the air shock. Install the lower mounting clips on the shock. Install the shock on the vehicle. Install the lower shock bolts. Turn the airline clip to the lock position and connect to the shock. This will snap in place. Install the upper shock nuts and tighten shock mount to the shock. Install the upper shock mount rubber cover. Install the carpet and interior plastic nut. Install the wheel, repeat on the other side, and you're done. And we recommend going for a test drive, getting in alignment, and enjoying your new suspension.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.